and welcome to episode 115, I think. I honestly forgot to look, but I'm pretty sure that's right, of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a beautiful Sunday. It's July 24th, 2022, of course. And yeah, I'm excited for this week's episode. We have lots of projects to talk about. Some really fun, a couple of fun new things, something I'm gonna share one last time, but I'm not gonna continue working on it. Some blanket progress, and yeah, lots of new projects are on the horizon, and I cannot wait to start them. But yes, I'm very, very excited for this week's episode. So, before we hop into that though, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Be sure to check out all of the links in the description box below. One note about those links, I am not going to be having show notes for this episode as well as for the foreseeable episodes. If show notes are something that you guys want to keep seeing, or if you continually have questions about some things that I am talking about, I may start posting them again. But honestly, it'll just kind of take something off my plate to not have those, and they aren't referenced a whole lot by that many people, so I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see if that's something that I need to keep doing or not. I kind of want to work on the website a little bit and kind of nail down exactly what I want that platform to look like for me. And so I'm going to take off the show notes and kind of just see how things go, I guess. But anyway, definitely check out those links though, because there'll still be links to my pattern shops, social media platforms, Dishcloth Make-A-Long information. I'm hosting a MAL this entire year. And then also we have a Facebook group for the Graceful Tangle and patterns, and just a place to share anything that you're working on. So definitely check out all of those places. But I think that is about it for the intro of this episode. Let's go ahead and hop into it today. I do have a couple of finished objects to share. So let's just start with that. Okay, so the FOs that I have to share this week are designs that have now been released. So this past week, I released the Bulky Brilliant Beanie. The Brilliant Beanie collection is something that I started earlier this year. So far, I have the figure weight version, which is the original Brilliant Beanie, and then I have the worsted weight, and now Bulky. You know, it's super crazy and kind of silly to release a bulky weight hat pattern in July in the middle of summer, but you know, it's so nice to get ahead on gift knitting or, you know, products for craft fairs and things like that if that's your thing. So hopefully this will help you in that regard. This is a free pattern that's available on Ravelry and my website, but then you can also find the PDF available on Etsy as well. It's inexpensive, it just can't be free because you can't sell things for free on Etsy. I also have a video tutorial that walks you step by step through each and every process of making this beanie. So if that's something that you're interested in, I will link it down below. I, want to be as helpful as I can, and I love filming tutorials and making them, and I hope that you guys love using them as well. So anyway, all of that said, let me show you these beanies. So I have 3 to show. I honestly don't remember. I think I was working on this one last week. I think I had just started it, and then since then I've made 2 more, I think, but I could be wrong. Regardless, this is the first one. So this beanie uses Knit Picks Chroma Twist Bulky, and I love this colorway. It's so pretty. It's gray, kind of got some subtle purple in there as well, which I think is so pretty. Yeah, I really like the way that one turned out. This one uses Knit Picks Big O yarn, which is one of my absolute favorite yarns. It is a 2-ply bulky weight yarn, and it's so fun. And it's the squishiest, softest yarn. I love knitting with it. I love crocheting with it. Yeah, one of my favorites. I'm kind of scared that it's gonna be leaving Knit Picks. I noticed on the site the other day that it was like on clearance / goodbye. It had that little goodbye tag under it, so I'm hoping they still, they still have it. Maybe they'll come out with more colors or something, but I do really, really love this yarn. Okay, and then last but not least, I have this one. This is the version that I made for the tutorial. I used Cascade Pacific Bulky for this one, and I forgot the color number, but it's a really pretty kind of mint blue color, and it turned out super cute. So 3 hats. I had so much fun making them. I'm definitely itching to make more hats for sure. They're one of my absolute favorite things to make. They're just really easy to kind of start and then take on the go. Kind of like socks, but even faster than socks sometimes, I think. But yeah, I'm excited to start some more. I just love making them. I love designing hats too, so I'm so excited for fall so that I can design some more and feel more confident releasing them because it'll actually be cold outside. Anyways, so I think that is it for FOs this week. I'm trying to make sure I got everything in this basket here. Yep, that's it for finished objects. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of works in progress. Okay, I actually have a few works in progress to share this week. First up is a new pair of socks. So once again, I'm trying to get a head start on Christmas gifts this year. So this is one of them. I'm using Barocco Comfort Sock. This is a 50% superfine nylon and 50% superfine acrylic base. So it doesn't have any wool, acrylic and nylon base. I love the way it feels. It's very, very soft, very sturdy. It's kind of a woven, what is the word? Ply, I guess? Anyway, I just really like the texture of it, I guess is the best way I can say that. But it's really pretty. It's got purples and whites and blues and reds. Yeah, it looks really, really fun. And then, oh, the colorway, by the way, it's not going to have a name. It's going to have a number. 1818 is the color of this yarn. And then here's what I have so far for my sock. So I actually switched it to these needles that are not going to work to knit on because I had to use my sock needles for a different project that I can't show right now. So I will be switching these, obviously, when I start working on them again. But I have finished the leg of this sock. And it looks so good. I just love the stripes so much. I love, love, love striped socks. They're so much fun to make. So yeah, finished the leg. I'm just using my Success Socks pattern, which is my standard vanilla sock pattern. This is the 64 stitch count size if you're curious, but there's 3 sizes in the pattern as well. So, yep, that is sock project number 1. And then I'm working on another pair of socks right now as well, also for a future Christmas gift. Let me see if I can remember what bag they're in. Here they are. Okay, so these are, like I said, also a Christmas gift, actually the same size as well. I'm doing the 64 stitch count for this person as well. These are going to be for one of my cousins. And I think she's going to love them. This yarn I have used before. I've actually made my sister a pair of socks out of this same colorway. But I just love it. This is Knit Picks Static. And I say that I love the colorway. I completely forgot what it's actually called. But it's really pretty. It's like a lavender and gray, white base. Obviously it's stripes. The static is so fun in the way that it stripes. It's like you can't plan it out. I mean, there's a pattern to it, I think. But I would knit a whole sock and still not know the pattern, so I kind of just ignore it and go with it. But they're so fun. So, so pretty. So the leg is also done on this pair, which is really exciting. I have not worked on these much, if at all, this week. I started these last week and forgot to share them on the podcast. So, sharing them now. But I'm definitely hoping to make a lot more progress on them this week because I'm itching to just play with yarn. I don't know, this past week has been crazy and I did not have a lot of time at all for much knitting and crocheting, like at all. Work was very busy. We had some family in town, and then school is winding down, which means it is insane trying to get everything done on time. And I'm only in 2 classes. It's crazy. It's crazy. More on that later. Okay, let's see. What else am I working on that isn't a design? What is in this bag? Oh, this isn't a design. This is fun. Okay, so this is, I shared this project a while back, and I'm kind of like picking up again / completing the set. So these are the Mercy Cloths by Tony of TL Yarn Crafts. Tony is absolutely amazing. I love, love, love watching her YouTube videos and seeing all of her posts on Instagram and stuff like that. She's just a light in the community. She's absolutely amazing. And incredible at teaching crochet and teaching people how to teach and crochet. She just is very, very good at what she does. But anyway, so these are her Mercy Cloths pattern. She has a dishcloth size and then a hand towel size as well in the pattern. You can find it as a PDF, but then it's also free on her blog, and that's the version that I've been using and referencing. But both are amazing, of course. So here's one. I finished this one a while back, made it and finished it a while back. This uses the Tunisian Crochet smock stitch, which is really fun. It's going to blur out the camera, but here's kind of a close-up of what the stitch looks like. It's so beautiful and so squishy. I really want like a full cardigan or something in this pattern, in this stitch, but it's not like, I don't know, the stitch itself is not hard, but you do have to pay a little bit of attention to it, so I don't know if I would want to make a really big project like that in it or not. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, but I am definitely at least considering it. So here's the first one that I made. All of these use Knit Picks Dishy. This one is the colorway Swan, and it's a really pretty kind of off-white color. And then I made another one this week, or I'm almost done with it, in the process of binding off actually. I made another one this week using, I forgot what this colorway is called, but I have the label, Blush, which is a light pink, so pretty. And here's what it looks like. So this one went much faster than this first version. So I'm definitely getting the hang of the stitch, which is really exciting. I am enjoying it so much. And I want to make a couple of more dishcloths for this set to kind of complete it. But yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. So pretty. So I want to do, I have these two made. I'm using, actually I'll just grab it. This is a design that I'll share in just a couple minutes, but I have this color of Dishy. This is one of the new ones. It's called Butterscotch, and this is like Amy Kate in a palette right here. This combo, this 3-color combo, I love it so much. So I really want to add that one to this little set. I have this gray. I'm also using it for a design, the same one. That would be so pretty. I also think TL almost called her TL Yarn Crafts. Tony has a couple of sets pictured like within the blog post, and I think she did like this white and a pink and then a navy, and I really like the look of that as well. So there's endless possibilities, but I'm excited to keep making this pattern and just kind of, like I said, complete the set. I might even decide to do the hand towel version. I don't know. I would like to try it out. I have never crocheted or knitted or Tunisian crocheted a hand towel before and used it. So I'm kind of interested to see how that could work out. So I might do that with this pattern. But anyway, I'm definitely having a lot of fun making these dishcloths. I'm using a 6mm Tunisian crochet hook. This is one of the interchangeable ones from We Crochet. They are my favorite that I have tried. They are designed to attach a cable and then put like an end cap at the end of it so that your stitches don't fall off. However, the cable can be kind of just like tricky to work around, and so I don't use it unless like the amount of stitches that I have on the hook really calls for it. And to be quite honest, this one does. I mean, there's like 32 stitches I think on the hook at once, but honestly it's fine, and the return pass goes by so quick that I don't typically lose stitches, so it's worth it in my book to not have to fool around with the cable itself. Okay, so that is that work in progress. Like I said, I really had more than I thought I did this week. Okay, this whip, I'm going to show it, but I'm not going to continue this project. So last week I shared that what really happened, I started a design with this yarn. It is We Crochet Cotton in the colorway Mustard Seed. It is my like absolute favorite color of all time. I love it so much. I started a design with it, but I made the mistake of not calculating yardage before I started it. Like I did all of the sizing, grading, figured out the stitch, all of that good stuff. Decided to wait on calculating yardage, and I shouldn't have done that because I don't have enough yarn for it. And I should have known that I did it, but it's okay. You win some, you lose some. And I could order more, but it would be a different dye lot, and so I was kind of trying to avoid that. I'm also working really hard to like pare down my stash and use what I have, so I'm trying not to add to it right now. But so that design didn't work out. I will be making it and releasing it probably next spring and summer. I just won't be using this exact yarn for it. But I still wanted to use this yarn, so I found this pattern and decided to start this tank. I have like almost the first panel done. The construction is kind of weird, so it was really awkward to show it last week, and honestly it still is. It still just looks weird in my mind. I don't know, but anyway, here's what it currently looks like. It's totally fine. The pattern is absolutely fantastic. This is a pattern by For the Frills on her blog. Amazing pattern, like no critiques at all. But I'm not going to be continuing this project because I know that I don't think I'm going to wear it. This is one of those projects that I would have to wear something under, and it would, like, you know, a tank top is going to show because it's not going to have the same cut as this tank will. And that kind of defeats the purpose of wearing a tank top, in my opinion, if you have to then layer something else on top of it. Like, that just does not sound very appealing in Alabama weather. So, I'm going to discard it. I'll use the yarn for something else. I haven't decided what yet. I still really want it to be a tee. And I might try a knitted one, since knitting generally takes less yarn than crochet does. Maybe like cut back on the positive ease just a little bit and do knitting instead of crochet. We'll see. I want to play around with that idea next. But I'm not going to continue that actual project. So anyway, moving along. Next work in progress. And this is the last one that isn't a design. And it is my blanket, my cotton scrappy blanket. So this is going great. I did not put a whole lot of work into it this week. Again, just really lacked the time, but I thought I would share it anyway. I'm hoping to put a lot more work into it this week. But here's what it currently looks like. It is getting so big, which is so exciting. I have a whole bin to my side here that has all of my cotton scraps in it. So my hope is that I can use all of them. And then once they're gone, the blanket will be done. I'm hoping that sizing works out so that plan will prevail, but we'll have to see. But yes, I love it. It's been a lot of fun to work on. I'm hoping to have a lot more time this week to work on it. I shared it last week. I have another blanket that I'm currently working on, but I've decided to put it on hold until this one is done because I just want to focus on one blanket at a time, especially in the midst of so many other projects. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to focus on first, and I want to get it done. I love it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm having a lot of fun with this project, for sure. Scrappy blankets are just the best. So that is it for all of my whips that aren't designs. But I do have two, I think just two. Yeah, two designs to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, my first design is a new dishcloth pattern, and that's going to be releasing in August, early August, and I am loving it so much. So I have a pattern available in my shops called the Devoted Beanie, and this dishcloth pattern uses that same texture, but it's in the form of a dishcloth, of course, rather than a beanie, and I am just loving it. So here's the first one that I have started. I'm using Knit Pixie again in this gray color. And it's just really, really pretty. I really like the texture. I think it's going to work really well for scrubbing and washing dishes and all of that. I really love crocheting and knitting dishcloths. We typically prefer to use knitted dishcloths, so I'm kind of keeping that in mind. But yeah, so here is the first one. And then I'm working on the same exact pattern, same design, just a second sample. And that's what I'm using for this mustard color. And I just love it so much. I love this color. Oh my goodness. So I started this one last night because I wanted to get to a certain place on this one before continuing. And so I did that, and then I started a second one. And they're going great. They're so mindless, so much fun. They really just fly off your needles, and you don't have to pay attention to it. Like, very, very much enjoying these dishcloths. So that is the first design that I'm currently working on. And then the second one, so this one is kind of weird. I'm not going to be releasing it as like a pattern on its own. What I'll probably do is finish it, get pictures, and then post it as like a free pattern on my blog, because that's just going to be the easiest way to kind of make it, like, make what I did out there, but not in a full written pattern, because it's just not, like, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to, like, this yarn, I wouldn't be able to get again. I'm not even sure if it's still being sold, nor do I remember what it was called, because apparently I don't have a label in here. Oh, I do. Okay, so this is Universal Yarn Deluxe Worsted Superwash. And I'm using quite a few different colors. I've had this in my stash for a while because ideally I wanted to make a sweater out of it. But this is just a little bit too scratchy personally to make a full sweater in. So I decided to turn it into a pillow. because I have a pillow form that I'm not using right now. And so I want to make a crochet cover for it. So I'm using 5 different colors. I don't think I have the 5th one in here, but it's a dark gray. So I'm using these 4 for like the main portion of the pillow. I am holding these 2 strands together right now. And then for the second half, I'm going to be holding this white and yellow together. And what I am doing is making 2 big panels using the moss stitch in a square form. So this is what it currently looks like. I'm just going to keep going until it either reaches the size that it needs to be for the pillow or I run out of yarn, whichever one comes first. So I'm doing that with these 2, and then I'll do the same exact thing again for these 2 colors, and then I will attach them together with the dark gray that I don't have over here. And that'll be like the border of the pillow. So it'll kind of be reversible is my hope, which I think is going to be really fun, really cool. And then it also ties all of these colors that I love so much together into one project, which was my hope all along. So it's been a lot of fun. It's just a really, kind of spur of the moment on a whim project. But it's going great, and I'm hoping that it works out how I've envisioned it. I think it will. I mean, it's super basic. Nothing should go wrong, but you never really know. So I'm hoping that it continues to work out and that the result is a super fun and cute pillow, because it should be. Hopefully. If everything works out, it'll be super cute. Okay, so that is it for all of the making content for this episode. Like I said, lots and lots of things that I'm working on lately. But I'm so excited about all of them, and I am hopeful to dedicate more time to each of them this week and in the coming weeks, for sure. So I do have a little devotional and a life update to share, so I hope that you choose to stick around for that. So devotional is a little bit different this week. Instead of sharing like a Bible verse or a song that has spoken to me this week, not because there aren't any, but because I recently got the books to finish a series that I had been reading, and I am enjoying them so much, and I really love this author, and so I thought I would share them with you guys. So Karen Kingsbury, you've probably heard of her, but she is an amazing Christian author. Her books are so much fun to read because they get your attention. Like, there's enough, they're all fiction, but they're realistic fiction. Like, these events could happen. Some of them are based on real events, I'm sure. Especially some of her specific books. Like, she has a series on 9/11, and those are very much inspired by not real people, but real situations. So, anyway, I love this author so much. Her books are Christian, so, they, you don't have to worry about what's going to be inside, because it's all going to be God honoring, which I love. But the books themselves are just expertly written, and they, like I said, grip your attention from the very first page. So this series that I'm currently working on reading is the Baxter family drama Firstborn series. So the Baxter family is like a really big deal with Karen Kingsbury books. She has multiple series on this one big family. And then she has other series that are kind of like, not outliers, but separate to those series, and then some standalone titles as well. But I love reading the Baxter family series. So this is the one that I'm currently reading, not the specific book. This is the book number 5, and I'm about to start book number 4. I read 1 and 2 a long time ago, and then our local library didn't have the others. And so I haven't read the others yet. And I got them at Second and Charles, which is like a bookstore near-ish to us, last weekend for a really good price. So I'm so happy about that, because I can now finish the series. But yeah, so I thought I would share these with you. Karen Kingsbury books. And you're just looking for something fun to read that you don't have to think too much about, but you're going to be entertained by, and is still from a Christian worldview, I highly recommend them. They're so good. Anyway, so I read the 3rd book this week. I am really excited to read the 4th one, and maybe the 5th one. I don't know. It depends on how much time I have. Probably not. Probably just the 4th one this week. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there in this form if you haven't already read those books. In terms of a life update, it was a really crazy week. We had, like I said, we had family in town. I worked a lot outside of the home, and then obviously school. I have like 2.5 weeks left of the summer semester, and then I will graduate, and I am so stinking excited to be done. Like, I cannot even tell you. I'm really, really excited. I'm not excited for the next 2 weeks, but I am excited to be done with the next 2 weeks. It's been a lot. It's been a rough semester. It's been an okay one. It's just, you know, a lot has gone wrong. Some things have gone right. It's 2 really hard classes, so I'm just kind of working through them the best that I can. But I have done so much school this weekend just because I did not have any time, hardly, throughout this entire week, to work on school. And so that's what I spent the majority of yesterday, Saturday, doing, and then this morning before church I did more. And I had one assignment that I still don't know what in the world I was doing wrong, but I was doing something wrong, and I finally fixed it and submitted it, and it's 100% correct, and I'm so, so glad. Anyway, so another big week ahead, one of the final weeks of school, lots of exciting projects to work on, and I am super excited to put more time into all of them. So I hope that you are having an amazing week, and that you continue to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.